Who knew that a vegetable could be so interesting? So if you're new here, say new and give me a hi and let me know that you're here with me, because I love to I love to know who's watching with me when I'm live. If you're watching in replay, just hit hashtag replay. And then if you like what you hear here, share it. Share now. Say, come join me here on Weezy, and just share the link for the show. Get more people coming on watching me live. So I'm a little bit, I feel like I'm talking fast, but my brain is working slow. So just bear with me today, because it's been a busy morning. So Mary says yes, she thinks it is important to continue education. She's a smart lady, so I'm not surprised to hear that from her. So I do have notes, because there is so much information today that I want to share notes. But I want to give you, before we go into the how to pickle or to make these refrigerator, we're not just pickling the asparagus, we're making it super simple. We are going to make it so it's the refrigerator variety. So it's basically pack into a jar and put it away in the refrigerator. No hot canners, no, you don't have to heat up the kitchen, let's say. Although I will just preface, the vinegar kind of leaves a little bit of a lingering odor when when you have to boil it. But you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's learn a little bit more about the asparagus. And there's a history of asparagus that I had no idea. See, that's just it, is you think you see something, you take it for granted, but then when you start digging and doing your research, you find out there's some interesting information about that. So let's learn about this asparagus. First known description of asparagus was on the Egyptian friezes. You know, if you don't know what a frieze is, it's like a sculpted, it looks like it's in concrete or something like that, but it's a frieze that they put on the wall, that dates back to 3000 BCE. This is from Stanford. However, asparagus did not remain exclusive Egyptian treat. The vegetable was common in Syria and Spain, and then later grown by the Greeks and the Romans. While the Greeks crafted the vegetable, it seems that the Romans were one of those who cultivated and spread asparagus throughout their empire. In fact, a recipe for asparagus can be found in the oldest surviving cookbook written by a Roman. His name is Aspicius. You spell that Apicius if you really want to know. So he, there's a lot of Greek here, but Empire Asparagus coined the asparagi-centric Latin phrase, "It was sooner done than asparagus was cooked." There's a Greek saying there, but I'm not going to butcher that. And that is from the 12 Lives of Caesar. In more recent history, asparagus has reigned through the region of King Louis, one of the King Louis. I can't read my Roman. I think the 17th. X1 or XIV. So somebody tell me what that Roman numerals, what the number is for that. Who grew asparagus in greenhouses in Versailles. That meant the king could eat it year round because it's so good. And it used to be we couldn't eat it year round when I was a kid. Adaptly dubbed the asparagus the king of vegetables. Well, it does kind of have a little crown. Fit for a king and ready for you. Long-lasting appeal asparagus has finally arrived. Act like the Romans or the Egyptians or even Old English and try some. Appeal is the blog in which I took this around from. So there's a little bit of history. So it was way back in Greek and Roman, Egyptian times, way back in the Middle East. But the bottom line is asparagus is a very nutritious food. And it's got so many good things going for it. And here's what another blog has to say. Asparagus is nutritional and tasty addition to any diet. It's low in calories and a great source of nutrients, including fiber, folate, vitamins A, C, and K. Additionally to eating asparagus has a number of potential health benefits, including weight loss, which that's a good thing, improved digestion. We always need to be improving our tummy bacteria or environment. Healthy pregnancy. I don't need to worry about that one, thank goodness. Not that I'm against pregnancy, just I think I'm a little beyond pregnancy. Outcomes, healthier pregnancy outcomes, and lowers blood pressure. Don't many of us, now that we're a little bit older, have a lot of those issues? And this might be able to help if you eat it, incorporate it into your diet, might help you out. Another good benefit about asparagus is it's inexpensive and easy to prepare. So like I said, there's tons of recipes out there. You can steam asparagus, you can stir fry asparagus, you can roast asparagus. I have found now that I have a dry fryer, it's great in the dry fryer. Or just add a little oil and some spices, toss it in the oven and roast it is probably, those two are probably my favorite ways versus the steamed. But you can flash cook it, put it into a cold water bath, shove it in the freezer for a little bit. You can freeze it. You can also do the cold bath and then take it out, dry it, and put it in other cold salads. That is one thing that we're preparing today. This segues into why am I pickling or jarring this asparagus? It's summertime. It's hot. Even if we live where there's air conditioning, it's the middle of July. It's just hot and humid. And we just may not be wanting to cook a big heavy meal. We enjoy cooler salads, cooler foods, and asparagus pickled like this kind of fits the bill because you can put it in salads. You can go and grab a jar and just, I think you're going to like this recipe so much you can just go grab it, and you want a little snack, you can just crunch away on it, because this is going to, it's not going to be super crunchy, but it's going to be al dente, meaning lightly tender, but still some snap to it. And it doesn't have to be dilled. It doesn't have to be spicy. Although when you get my email, I'm deeming it spicy because that title ranks pretty good. So I'm having to change a lot of things in the way I do it so that I can reach more people's attention. So if you see things that kind of look contrived when you get my information these days, it's just because I'm doing it for the online algorithms. But you can put it with garlic, lemon, lime. You can sweeten it. Because of the way I'm eating right now, I'm not using regular sugar. So I will be showing you monk fruit today, which looks just like sugar. Not as sweet as sugar, but when you go sugar free and you don't want to have all the chemicals from the other things, monk fruit is a great alternative. Not only is it sweet, but it has many health benefits. And I'm going to be doing a about that probably in August. So anyways, those are some of the things that you can throw into this. So let's go ahead and get started. You're just going to have to bear with me for just a minute. I have almost everything set up here to do the demonstration. I just have to grab one more thing from the pantry and shift. I'm going to shift the camera around, and I'm going to grab my monk fruit from the pantry. So, oh, you get to watch me get this in line. Little tour of Weezy's kitchen. Yes, I had to clean it pretty quick this morning. So right here in the pan, this is a mixture of 2 cups of white vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar if you want. Apple cider vinegar is another thing that has a lot of great properties. But anyways, it was just 2 cups of the white vinegar, 2 cups of water, a tablespoon of salt. I use the pink Himalayan, again, very good for your body versus classic table salt, and then a tablespoon of this monk fruit sweetener. This has become very easy to find in the grocery stores. If you can't find it in the grocery store, just order it online. Very easy to find. Or you could use, there's another brand called Swerve, something like that. SWERE. But anyways, so I cooked this last night because you add those 4 ingredients into your saucepan, and you cook it until it boils, but then it has to cool down to room temperature, and I didn't want to be messing with that this morning, so I did that ahead of time. So we have our asparagus. Today we're going to be working with asparagus, garlic. 1 jar I'm going to dill, and 1 I am going to make spicy with these hot peppers, which you can get them in a smaller bag. I do love this brand, Bada. Sometimes you can find this in smaller, but usually you can find these like in your Mexican, the international foods section of your grocery store. This was the only size bag they had. The thing is when you buy them, they last forever. So this is actually from last year, and if you just keep them in a cool place, they're going to store just fine. Anyway, so moving ahead, you have that. I have several little jars. I want to make sure that my asparagus is going to fit in there. Okay. My asparagus is a little too long, so I'm going to trim it just a little bit more. And I have a saucepan over here on the stove. I'm taking those ends and putting them in there because I'm going to steam them later and make vegetable broth. But an easy way to know where to cook your asparagus is just take 1 stalk and snap it, and where it snaps, that's going to be the most tender piece of your asparagus. So he just lines up here, and then you just bring it to the rest of your asparagus. Kind of line it up. And then you're just gonna cut it so it's all the same size. Easy peasy. So we're gonna take the remainder of this. Oh, we got a little pepper cut in there. And the rest of that's gonna just go into the pot. for our broth that I'll make later. So anyways, we have our glass jars. So all you do for this is we're going to put in, just add our asparagus into the jar. I'm going to kind of move that around in there. I bought 2 heads of asparagus to do the 2 jars. I have more to the side if I need it. Okay, that's good, because this one we'll make with the hot peppers. So you just take the hot peppers and pop them in there. This is going to be to your own liking. Barry likes things a little spicy, so I'm going to put 4 in there. And then I have garlic nearby. There's other things that you can add in here, and in my email this week I have the recipe and it gives other suggestions. So if you are a subscriber to the email, the recipe for this will be inside, along with the video of how to do this. So just take a clove or 2 of garlic. If you just chop off the ends of your garlic, just chop off the ends, and you lay your knife blade flat. Pop your palm of your hand, and it pops that skin right off for easy peeling of your garlic. Of course, now I've got so much juice, you're going to prove me wrong. You saw how easily, though, that I peeled the other one. Here we go. I guess it's just that side. Come on, dude. Don't be messing with Weezy. So anyways, we're going to pop that in there. And then you simply take your room temperature brine and fill the jar. A couple of these dudes are a little high. I'm gonna push their heads down. You know, Weezy, don't drown us. And voila. Put the lid on. Let it sit in the refrigerator for at least 3 hours before you try it. But I suggest you wait. Something like this, I might want to wait a couple days. I might want to wait a couple days for this one, because the peppers, I think, will take more time to assimilate and to flavor the brine and flavor the asparagus. So the next one, I'm just going to quick show, put some of this in here. And then you just take some dill leaves. And I'm showing you this one because dill is just pretty. Dill just goes into things really pretty. Once again, I'm going to pop the garlic. Pop it in there. Let me get some more asparagus. That's only one head that was only one head that I've been using. So here's another bunch. You can clean it. You can blanch this if you want. If you want to retain the color a little bit more, but it does nothing. It does nothing except add many extra steps, in my opinion, to the process. It does not change the tenderness or the crunch quotient. So once again, I snapped my asparagus. Cut it. Oops. Maybe the dogs will come clean that up. Put some more in there. Come on, kids. Oh, they're too tall. Too tall. So you do kind of lose a lot, but you could take this that's too tall and steam that up and add that to omelets or other salads, or just eat it. Use taller jars maybe. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to use a jar, because this is going to be in the refrigerator and you're not having to heat seal it or anything. You could use a plastic container, something like this, or a tall one, to just lay them in there. You could just lay some of the sprigs inside here and just do the same thing and still get the same thing, because you might just want a small batch because these only last for like up to like 6 weeks, and you do want to eat them quickly. So don't be looking in my cupboards. They're not that bad. Okay, so I have everything in there, so I'm going to go ahead and add my brine. But you get the idea. All of this, just fill it up, cap it up, and these guys are ready to go. Let me see. These guys are ready to go in the refrigerator.